Just hoping I don't cover something we've already covered.
The smart thing to do. What? Have you talked about Matrix? You've not talked specifically about the Matrix.
Okay, that's right then.
You have managed to, every episode, somehow talk about the Matrix, though. Literally so much. Like, I genuinely think 7 out of 10 episodes you've managed to bring up the Matrix.
Yes, we really do. That's how good.
Is that your favourite film?
Supposed to, yeah.
I think that's more of the problem I have with it, is that I don't think it's your favourite film, yet you keep bringing it up.
It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time.
Hello and welcome to the 11th A Wonderful Waste of Time podcast. The podcast where we look slightly deeper into the things that we love.
Do you want to know a really good fact about 11?
Go for it.
So, you can
Is this about Stranger Things?
No,
or is
no,
it just
no.
the number 11?
It's just about the number 11. So you could put two ones together,
Yeah.
and you get 11. But if you add one and one together,
It makes two. And it's a completely different number somehow.
It's crazy shit.
I've got to be honest.
I think it's
I'm
more,
right there
I think
with
it's
you.
more
I've
an
been there
interesting
before.
fact. I think it's more interesting facts about the number 1 than 11. It's
Do
just
you want to know another fact about the number 1?
Go on.
It's the loneliest number. Do you know something about the number 2? It's the loneliest number since the number 1.
Yeah.
Some say 2 can in fact be as bad as 1. Bringing you nothing but facts on a podcast. It's a comedy entertainment podcast about looking deeper into just things that we like. And now we're bringing you shit maths jokes. Not even maths jokes. They're just numbers jokes. There's not even math involved.
Whoa.
Not really.
What was their need for the language?
What language?
Like the
English?
The S word. Shit. It wasn't shit. It just wasn't great.
That was too strong for you.
It was too strong because, like, it wasn't even.
This goes on after the watershed. We're fine.
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't even that. It was just more. You called
To be
my
fair, this
joke
goes
shit.
on whenever
Like,
anybody wants to listen to it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is there. This is there for you.
Technically, this comes out on midnight on a Monday morning. On actually, no, on everything now.
and everything
To make it easy for me. On YouTube, it will come out midnight on a Monday morning, so that you can download it before you go to work. But you don't need to from YouTube, so that made no sense. The thing it's just available. It's just right there for you.
iTunes and SoundCloud.
No, on SoundCloud it uploads sort of
Stream
when
it.
I fucking feel like it.
Okay, that's down to you, innit?
SoundCloud have decided not to put in a feature to schedule things, which means I have to stay up until midnight and upload it sometime around then. Might be a little bit before midnight. Might be
after.
at 3 in the morning.
Why not?
Depends what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I might get distracted.
What are you doing at 3 in the morning? Like, you can't
Like
just
all manner of bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do at 3 in the morning?
That's what I'm doing most of the time in 3 in the morning. Playing video games,
Yeah.
writing.
Do you know what?
I do work at 3 in the morning.
I'm actually more active at night, to be fair.
I often find like I become more creative when I get tired because I think it shuts down your filter.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
No, there's that.
I genuinely think I need to flip my day around, stop trying to work during the day and just work in the evening.
No, you know what?
And just do all the stuff that I end up doing in the evening during the day. I should play video games in the day. As much as it makes it sound like I'm slacking off and doing nothing, I genuinely think I would get more done.
Yeah, like it's just, some people wake up, get work done, then chill. Some people wake up,
I'm out of
chill,
sync.
get work done. No, I'm the same.
I have a problem.
No, I mean, you do, but it's not that. That's not the problem.
That's not it.
That's not it.
I have several problems.
But this is.
Can you name them all?
It's not the show for it. Hey, kids.
Hey kids, it's time for another game of What the Fuck is Wrong with You?
On that note.
This is the version of the podcast. Oh wait, we haven't even introduced ourselves and it's been fucking ages.
Have we not?
My name is Kross and with me as always is...
SG.
Well done, you said it so much faster. Yes. I'm proud of you.
Wow.
It's like you've come over the speech impediment that you had that meant you couldn't put those two letters together.
I don't think I've come over all of those speech impediments. These are things that we have to deal with. Thank you for that, by the way, Kross. That's nice of you.
I feel it's better to air
No,
it out.
it's all right, though, isn't it? It's all right. Like,
make everyone comfortable.
Because, Yeah, some people English isn't their first language, but it's cool. Whatever.
It is yours though.
It's not though. So
yeah,
how do you
fuck
feel?
it is though, isn't it?
It's not though.
Which do you spend most of your time speaking?
Well, it's not the first language I was speaking though, was it? So. Yeah. I mean, now it's my main language.
What was the first language you were
Yoruba.
speaking? Ah.
Yes.
Can you speak any of it now?
I understand it fluently.
Really?
I do understand it fluently.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
then.
so you can't test that because you can't speak it.
Well,
so,
sorry, but
I do understand it fluently,
a friend of yours and mine grew up speaking Arabic.
Yes.
Can't speak a fucking word nowadays.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah,
he couldn't really get away with calling it his first language.
Yeah, I mean, like,
just because he did speak it when he was like 4.
I mean, I can say words. It's just I've lost the accent. But let's go back to the real focus here, which is you just being.
So we've got to pick from 7 or 8 categories. I can. It's transitional.
Wow.
So I've got to spin the wheel to decide which of us is talking first.
I'm taking a protest.
Are you now?
No.
Congratulations. There's 2 of us.
Yeah.
There's no protest on a 2-person operation. You're just quitting. If you leave, it's fucked.
It'll be so.
It's very hard to hold a podcast for an hour on your own.
No, I mean, like you could come up with bits. Like
I'd go slightly
come through
fucking mental.
characters.
I'd start talking to my hand.
It would just like be people witnessing the decay of Kross. It would just be like, he's breaking down. This is his last testament to the world, and I don't want to be the guy who calls that. You can't rock a guitar. So I've done there. Okay,
yes,
cool.
That was the plan.
So
talking guitar, taking that to the lab. So let's spin the wheel to find out who's talking first,
right.
shall we?
Who's joining us for the world today? Right,
Who's joining us for the world?
Yeah, I think
I'll give you a clue. Me and you.
Yeah, no, just go. You see what
which noise you're gonna do?
Oh, what noise? No, the crafted, the crafted.
The noise about 5,000 over here is gonna make.
Yeah. The special machine we've got.
It's the Audiotron.
It's like, you see that guy
boop. That's how it talks. That's the only way it can communicate.
Through beeps and bleeps.
Through like robotic scatting. Beep boop. Beep boop bop
I think we're gonna be joined by him. It's gonna be my Saturday feature for today. In fact, just keep it careful.
Let's go. Go on, do your noise. The Patikapow was particularly lovely. I'd like to say you put a little bit of sauce on the end of it. Stop!
Will was still going. No,
Me!
Yeah, because that was just. I don't know what that has to do with me doing that noise.
It was how much you did it scared it off of choosing you.
It's like, this guy cannot keep going.
And if we turn the Audiotron back on again one more time,
there we go.
as we decide which category. Biddly boo ba. Games. Saucy.
Games. The wheel was brought to you by the Soundatron.
The Soundatron, we've changed its name literally every time we've brought it up.
Okay, it was a Soundatron 2020. Yeah, we got the special early edition.
It was, the Noise Tech H16. That's what we said before, right? I'm pretty sure.
H16?
Yeah.
Not like the J50?
Yeah, you know.
No, not about the J50.
The Bloopermatic 516.
I can't get game. Like, it's some games. What's going on here?
See how many shit names we can make up for a robot that literally is just a speaker.
Speaker?
So games. Oh, I've got 2 things on my list that I wanted to talk about.
Whoa.
Which one do I pick? There's the fun side of this.
Cool. I'm just gonna say B. Done.
I was gonna go B anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Teamwork.
There we go.
Bring it up, Home Skillet.
Cool. Yeah. That was a high five, everyone.
I like the fun thing about podcasts and not being able to see people is I can say to you anything. I can say, you're an absolute wanker, right? High five! And it sounds like you've just high-fived me, even though I clapped.
It doesn't. He just clapped, and I'm not.
It totally does, right? High five!
See, he is an asshole. But there we go. There we go.
You love high fives, right? High five!
I just want to
You
clarify.
just can't stop high-fiving
I
me.
just want to clarify.
You can't get
There's
enough.
going to be one high five from me here.
There's
And it
been
was the
several.
first.
So the thing I wanted to talk about, we all know that's not true. So the thing that I wanted to talk about,
it doesn't work. It's
I should have known you were going to do it, and then just still clapped anyway. You scoundrel! How dare you dupe me? I wanted to talk about one of my favourite games and talk about a specific thing within that game that I think should be implemented in more franchises.
Cool.
One in particular
One.
that a franchise that I like, but I think is struggling, and I think many people would agree with me. Many people. The franchise I want to talk about, not the one that I think is struggling, though there aren't enough of them being made. Sly Cooper. You ever played Sly Cooper?
Yeah.
You know anything about Sly Cooper?
No.
Sly Cooper's a good game, man. You want to check that shit right out, bud, there.
Okay.
Sly Cooper is about a raccoon who's also a thief.
Yeah.
He's got two mates. Actually, he's got several mates, but he's got two main mates.
Yeah.
One's a turtle.
Yeah.
One's an hippo.
Hmm.
Boom.
Hippo.
Hippo.
Okay.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah. We'll get to the turtle first, but I'm intrigued about the hippo.
Okay. So the turtle is named
we're good.
Ben.
Oh,
Oh, you said get to the turtle first.
What?
I was literally following what you said.
Yeah, you actually, that was my bad. No, we'll get to the turtle
Afterwards.
later.
Let's go to the hippo
Let's
first.
get to the hippo first.
Hippo's a big bloke. He's named
Yeah,
Murray.
Yeah. Great.
He likes to refer to himself as the Murray.
The Murray. The Murray.
His main interests are driving the team's van,
Yes.
destroying things,
Yes.
and sort of wrestling.
Okay, Murray sounds
then-
like an angry,
and then in the
sort of angry
third
child.
game-
Maybe a bully when he was younger.
No, he wasn't a bully. He's like one of the friendliest people. He's the complete opposite. He's just a big guy.
He's just a big guy.
He's tough. And when it comes to fighting bad people, he's not afraid to throw a few fists around. But he knows that he can get kind of angry. So in the third game, when he splits off from the team, he actually travels to Australia and starts studying Dreamtime. So he becomes all peaceful after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a complicated
It's like Mr.
backstory.
T and the
And that time that Mr. T went to
the
Australia
remakes,
to
in the remakes. Well, not so much
study the Dreamtime.
Not so much the going to Australia to study the Dreamtime, but in the remake where it was just all peaceful after.
The remake of what now?
The A-Team, the one with
Oh yeah, no, the guy. It wasn't
the guy
actually
that
Mr.
made.
T.
No, it wasn't actually
Yeah.
Mr. T. No,
It was
it was the guy
Tyson
that played.
Fury,
Yeah, it was
wasn't it?
being
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that was all my bad.
I was gonna say
That was all. Yeah, that was all.
it is often easy to forget. That
Yeah.
His name is actually Mr. T, and that is not a character's name.
The character's name.
I feel you.
I know it's crazy.
So yeah, he's like just a big pink hippo guy.
Yeah, pink.
He's pink. It's very pink. He's literally, I think,
very pink.
he's very
How
pink. Pretty motherfucking pink.
Wow. Cool.
I would say
Like
the other two main
fluorescent
members of the
pink
team,
or like...
sort of the colours that you'd expect them to be.
Yeah.
Turtle's green,
Okay. Cool.
raccoon's grey,
Yeah.
hippo's pink.
Pink.
I don't know why,
Because it's a big hippo.
but I like it.
Talk about the elephant in the room. Talk about the pink hippo.
Ooh, there's only an elephant in the fourth game. We probably won't talk about the fourth game.
Is that
We might talk about it a
because of the
little
elephant in
bit.
it? We just
Yeah,
not
I
talking
just
about
don't
it
like talking
because
about
of the
elephants.
Yeah, it's just leave that one
So
there.
the turtle, he's called Bentley. He's
Bentley.
the brains.
You know what? It's about the turtle. Bentley sounds like Bentley. Yeah.
No, his name is Bentley.
Oh, it is Bentley,
Yeah.
like a car, but it's
Yeah.
a turtle. Funny.
Why is that funny?
I don't know, because it's a car. Cars are fast. Turtles aren't. Boom.
Oh, I didn't really put that together. I don't think that's where they were coming from.
No, okay.
but-
Well,
okay.
they could also just chuck that one in there.
So he's the brains of the operation
They
who
could
sets up
use
their heists and stuff
Sorry,
like
I'm
that.
just going to interject
No, it's
there.
fine.
They could use any name if they call him Ford.
If they called it Ford,
maybe you would have.
then it would have been more obvious.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
But, they're Bentley.
If it was
like,
something
just-
that was more definitely
classy.
a car than Bentley.
Well, I mean, like when you
If
say,
his
when you say
name,
Bentley,
if
what do
his
you think
name was
of?
Audi
You're pushing
or
it there.
Saab,
He's pushing it there, isn't it? There, like
or if they called him BMW,
hey Lambo. I get it. Like, but Bentley, classy.
And this is the Smart Turtle Range Rover.
We call him that because it covers a lots of blah, 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 blah. We call him that because it covers a lots of.
Still can't say it, can you? You went all Betamax in the middle of that. Not Betamax, Bmax from Big Hero 6. Betamax is an archaic VHS.
Yeah, so we call him that because he covers a lot of ground.
Thanks. I forgot what the setup for it even was.
It was the range. It was the
Turtle
range.
Range Rover covers a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's terribly.
So the basic story of it is he Sly, the raccoon, the main one.
It's the raccoon Sly.
He's called Sly Cooper.
Okay.
He comes from a long line of thieves, the Cooper clan.
The Cooper clan.
It's
catchy,
the first game was like a platformer with some stealthiness to it.
Yeah.
The second, third, and fourth games are all like sandboxy stealth games. So it's all set in little worlds.
Okay, yeah.
But it's there are 7. I think there's 7 in number 3, 8 in number 4. I might be wrong. Might be 7 and 6. Oh, wait. There's several different locations, but they're all little sandbox worlds.
Yeah.
And I really like the setup of it because you can stealth around and you collect things and you can steal things. But then when you do the missions, you go to a certain place to start the mission to do little bits of it. It's nice that you can just walk around in the world still. I like that sandbox stuff. It's kind of like Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
So you know how Ratchet and Clank's on different planets?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. It's like a little bit like the apps you get on Androids, like planets and zombies. You got different worlds.
Oh.
Okay, well, there we go. That's another comparison for the younger viewers.
Yeah. So you find out in the first one, which is not really be the focus. The thing I want to talk about is more to do with the second and third game.
Cool.
So you get some of the story in the first one. The first one is about a book called The Thievius Raccoonus, which is his family's book of like thieving secrets.
Okay.
And he's like, family is ancient. It goes back, and you later on find out all of the brilliantly, stupidly named, like silly names, but in a fun way, of all the people like from his family and stuff like that, like his Scottish ancestor, who's obviously called something but Cooper, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's their book of like family secrets, and the first game is about how when he was a child, his father was murdered to get the book, stolen by a group called the Fiendish Five. The Fiendish Five? Is that what they called the first one?
Fiendish.
Yeah, it is the Fiendish Five. Yeah.
What
They're rather fiendish. There's a frog who resides in a place called the Welsh Triangle, which is like the Bermuda Triangle, but in Wales. Ms. Ruby, who's a voodoo crocodile lady.
You know what? Why are crocodiles always like... I guess
from the bayou.
It's
there straight away. They're from the bayou.
Yeah, so okay.
Mugshot, who's like a big dog thing with like massive arms, so big that he actually walks around on his arms and his legs just hang around underneath.
Is it like, has he got really small legs? Is that like the joke thing of it?
Yeah.
And
he's ugly. That's why it's called Mugshot.
Picture. Got it.
I feel like I'm missing one before I go to the final one. He's losing track from me here.
Yeah, that was 3 so far.
Yeah, I know what the last one is, but the last one's far more important. That's why I'm trying to
just build it up. I like that.
Remember?
Like that. No, there's a process to delivering stuff, and you gotta respect that process. Yeah, definitely.
I definitely need to do this in the right order, otherwise I think it's gonna. It's the Panda King. Of course, it's the Panda King.
Of course, it's the Panda King.
I forgot the Panda King is even a bad guy in the first one. So the Panda King is like a Chinese firework-based warlord.
That's a bit. I mean, like, where's the Panda King?
Because that's where pandas are from. You're going back to the bayou. It's logical because that's where it's from.
I know. It's a silly question. Really,
and then the final one is called Clockwork.
Okay.
And it's an owl who has been trying to kill his family forever.
Okay.
And has replaced all of its body parts with mechanical parts, purely based on the fact that it wants to survive long enough to kill his entire family.
That's dedication to the cause, though, man. Wow.
That's some high-level evil shit.
Yeah, that's like, whoa. Yeah, I want you dead.
Yeah.
Even if it takes forever. That's fucked.
I will never not be trying to kill one of you.
That's deep evil right there. Like, Man, you can't even have like distant cousins because
No.
he wants just to kill everyone.
They're all dead. You've
And
not
he's
got
got
any.
ti-
You've
he's got
literally
time.
got no family.
Well, yeah, he's got time to find them all. So yeah.
They killed your dad.
Damn.
You hid in the cupboard. Well, they killed your dad. You literally saw it happen.
So you say that, and R. Kelly came straight in my head.
It's trapped in the closet. We should watch that at some point and then just talk about. We should do an R. Kelly special based on
my
watching
God.
that shit sitcom he made.
Man, I love that. I love it. I actually.
Have you
love
seen
it.
the whole thing?
Yeah,
So I want to watch
I'm
it.
pretty
and then
sure I
we
have,
should-
and it just ends
should
so
talk about it.
ridiculously.
Back
he's
to this
hidden
anyway.
deposit, yeah, that's
So
dead.
you spend the first game trying to track down the 5 members of the Fiendish Five
Okay.
to get back the pages of the book.
Okay, so they've each
So that's
got little
that's the whole
segments.
thing of the first one. That's
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
it. And you sort of defeat Clockwork, but he ain't dead.
Yeah, of course
Spoiler
not.
alert.
Of course not. Of course
There's
not,
2
right.
other games.
Yeah, I mean,
Second
there we go.
one, motherfucker's back, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's in pieces.
Oh man, what
So-
is he broken up internally?
You
or is he
beat no, you beat
physically-
no. He's not just like he's sad in the
He's-
second one. He's like, I want to kill him. I've
But
just not got the confidence.
I just, after the first time, I've been doing this for
You've
fucking
knocked
ever.
him. Yeah,
what's
and then
going
this
on,
fucking
you know?
young bastard's
Yeah,
come in and
like,
killed me.
I killed his dad.
I killed his dad, and now
he's still there.
And now this
Fucking-
like 20-year-old raccoon guy has fucked me
Boom.
up.
Boom, with the name that fucking Sly.
I understand, but in this case, he's literally been torn into
he's
pieces.
actually in pieces. Okay.
So
Literal pieces.
so I'm not going to go too much into the second, third game. The reason I set up from the first game is just because I think it's an interesting story as well. And I think if you're going to play them, if you can play the first one, play that one as well. You can actually get the trilogy, the first 3 games on PS3.
Trilogy.
There is actually a 4th one now as well.
Yeah.
But 2 and 3 are the ones that I think
Is
are
it on
really
Xbox
good.
as well?
No,
Damn.
it's PlayStation exclusive.
Ah,
But it's very good. It's worth getting. It's like my favourite game.
yeah, fair.
2 and 3. 2, 3, Kingdom Hearts and Fallout are my favourite games. So there you go
Well,
with
there
that.
you go.
Just
Yeah,
a quick,
yeah,
quick,
that
quick
was-
little
yeah,
list of
just-
what my favourite games are. If you
we
want to
slept
know,
in the top 5,
want to know a
haven't
little
we?
bit about me,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be a shit top 5 because I already know the top 5.
It's just listed it.
We should do
Yeah,
a top
yeah.
5 where we get people to ask us basic questions and we just quickly rattle off top 5s
Yeah.
and then
Cool.
move on.
Hey,
Top 5s of
ask
our
some
lives.
top 5s.
So yeah, just
So
send
go.
us loads of questions.
Yeah.
So getting back to this, so I like the whole setup of it, and the style of it is like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's got like bits from that. So when you start each level of the game, it has like a title that comes
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
and it has like a title card like you would on a cartoon.
Yeah.
that tells you the name of the level, and it
Yeah.
says like Sly Cooper and the gang in whatever it's called. And when you pause it, it says "We'll be right back"
Ah,
and
sick.
stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah,
kind of a
people
nice,
stick to that. Okay.
and it's got really nice animated cutscenes
Yeah.
that adds to the whole vibe of it, and it looks a bit like a cartoon, and I really love that, which is part of why I'm not as keen on the 4th one. So the first 3 are made by a company called Sucker Punch,
Okay.
who are the people that made Infamous as well.
Okay, yeah. Know of, yeah.
And then it got moved on to a company called Sanzaru made the 4th one.
Yeah.
And it's not got the same look,
Okay.
and it's kind of not got the same feel, and there are some good things in it,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't feel like it's the same game. And it, when you just
You
really
get
like
used to
something, you
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's not right, so it's off-putting. So yeah, the whole just like the concept of it, I like the story of it, I like how the game works,
Yeah.
and I like the style of like the Saturday morning cartoon thing and stuff like that, and the
Yeah.
thieves and everyone's animals. I think it's fun. It works for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing that I like in 2 and 3 that I think needs to be applied into more games, and I'm sure you can also think of some other games that I think could be applied to, is that the way that they work. So in the first one, you just play as Sly.
Yeah.
In the second game, you play as Sly, Bentley, and Murray.
Yeah.
So they have like safe houses in each level.
Yeah.
So you pick one, you can go and walk around, then you go back to the safe house, you go inside, you can pick another one, and they go out. And they've all got entirely different movesets.
Yeah.
In the third game, you can use just those 3 to just walk around normally, but there are other members of the team who on specific missions meet up
okay,
with
cool,
you,
yeah.
and then they can go and do, and they've all got their own specific things that they do as well.
Sick.
And the main thing that I wanted to talk about it being applied to, and I think I've said this on other things, I may have said it on the podcast at some point, I've definitely said it on Renegade Pineapple at some point,
Yeah.
is Sonic.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Sick.
I like Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't like
you're-
how they're trying to use all the characters. Because they've just made them all fast so that they can all run alongside Sonic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. And then when they've not done that in games like Sonic Boom, they're all just kind of shit. It's just like they've all been lowered
You're not
so
really
that they
giving
can all
them,
get
edge
everywhere.
here. You're not really giving them an edge here.
Well,
So it's like
don't deserve it. That game wasn't very
when you
good.
do it, it's not great. When you don't do it, it's fucking shit.
No, that's what I mean. You can make them all fast and it doesn't make sense in the lore.
Yeah.
Or you can make it so that Sonic can go fast, but the world's not designed for him to go fast.
Yeah.
And then he becomes pointless. Do you get what I mean? So it was set up as a sandbox game as well, and there are tracks within missions, which I think is a good way of doing it.
Yeah,
but then what's the point in having him be able to run around fast all of the time when there's nowhere for him to go because you've got to design it so that the other characters can get to places as well? So, what they should do, in my opinion, is do it more like how they do it in Sly Cooper, where you pick one and you can go around and do different things.
Yeah,
but the way that you get into different missions is using their abilities.
Yeah.
So if you want to do a Knuckles mission, you climb up stuff, or you have to break something, and that's how you get into it.
Yeah,
Tails can fly distances to get to that bit. They all the levels that are tracks for Sonic, he should have to do a big jump over to it. Use their abilities to do it. Tailor it to the actual characters rather than just building a game and then lobbing some known brand characters into it. Because it just feels like that they don't fit into it. And I think that the way they should start doing Sonic games is by, if they want to use the 4 characters, which I like. I like having the 4 characters. I like it being Sonic, Knuckles, Tails and Amy. Like the other ones are there sometimes. But those are the main 4, and I feel like it should be those 4, like Shadow and Rogue.
Okay, I remember.
Like
Rogue.
people like that. Yeah. But I think they should always be the main 4 because I like that they've got slightly different skills, and they have tried to give them slightly different skills in Sonic Boom and stuff like that. But I feel like the world should be more catered for them to use those abilities. What's the point in having them either all go out at the same time and not one of them, and then in Sonic Boom where they did have it just be one of them? It just doesn't feel like there's enough for them to do. Obviously, that game suffered a lot more problems than the basic design of it. The game wasn't finished. It was released with parts of it entirely broken.
Oh, fair.
So,
how does that work?
It doesn't, basically. You can cheat your way through the game. With Knuckles, if you double jump and then pause and then unpause, he does another jump. So you can go into all the areas you're not supposed to go into yet by doing that over and over again, and you can just go wherever you want on the map and stuff like that.
There you go.
It's super broken. But there's a lot of other things in it that just don't really work.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I want to see a Sonic game where Sonic just does speed things because he's Sonic. Knuckles just does fighting because he's Knuckles. Technological stuff. It's kind of like in Sonic Adventures, they tried to do it, but just kind of did it slightly wrong. So I feel like that was the closest to it. It was a really good idea. I just don't think they pulled it off properly. Like
I enjoyed that game,
putting Tails in like the robot stuff all the time made him a big strong character. And then it made Knuckles redundant. And so Knuckles became a character who was about exploring and finding things. So it kind of took away from him. Whereas if it was the other way round, being able to go and fly around, Tails is logically the exploring character. Knuckles is logically the character that should be breaking things. But they kind of flipped it the wrong way round. And I think the gameplay for them became worse, and you just sort of played them while waiting to get to a Sonic level.
Oh, fair enough. That's a really good critique of it. I didn't actually see it that way. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like... When you really look at it, you don't get to use the... No, but I know what you mean. You don't get, like, you should... Especially for Sonic as well, because, obviously it's called fucking Sonic, so obviously we know who the main guy is.
Who the main dude is.
But the other characters are sick. Like, I really like Knuckles.
Yeah.
Like, and I think...
I always like Knuckles. I like Knuckles more as a kid.
You should get a chance to... explore their abilities a bit more.
Yeah.
So no, that makes sense. Makes sense.
But setting them up to set them off into just like, this is their mission. This is a thing that's based around them, but then just leave them all as they are. You don't need to add in all these extra weird things. It just feels unnecessary. Just do like old style tracks for Sonic.
Yeah.
Leave the rest of them out of that. None of the rest of them ever need to go fast. Sonic is literally the one who's designed to go fast. He even keeps saying it.
Yeah, that's his thing. And then,
So I don't get why they're not split up more like that,
no,
rather than trying to work them into a team.
But I guess, franchise, innit? You buy the game for Sonic, they're going to make it for Sonic. I get what you mean, though, like, to actually enjoy the game and actually explore the characters.
So to make it a good game, it's better to have different people with different abilities, and entirely different abilities.
Yeah.
If they want to expand them more, they should just give them more abilities that are further away from each other.
Just explore their actual abilities more.
Yeah.
Because their abilities are pretty, I mean, like, Sonic's fast, Knuckles strong, Tails is smart and can fly. What does Amy do?
Amy has a hammer.
So she's
a big motherfucking hammer.
So she's maybe destruction as well, really.
Yeah.
She's also
she's kind of similar to.
She's like Knuckles and Tails in a sense, then, isn't she?
She's sort of a hybrid.
Well.
Yeah.
So
because she can destroy things. She can't do like climbing like Knuckles can.
Yeah.
Because Knuckles uses his Knuckles uses his spiky fists to climb up things.
I used to like that.
So she can't do things like that.
Like the cartoons of that as well.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what other stuff it could be applied to. I mean, like, there's nothing that pops into
go
there,
back
but like,
to-
it's a good.
as a general thing, I think it's a better way of exploring characters. But to go back to Sly Cooper quickly,
Yeah.
I like the way that you have abilities for them. You have a menu where you can set 3 of them as shoulder buttons. So one of them is always run, and then the other shoulder buttons are abilities that you get to pick from the list. But they've all got abilities that add to what they do.
Okay.
So like Sly is obviously the stealthy character.
Yeah.
He's the one that can run around on rooftops and you can walk across wires, and he jumps onto like spire points and stuff like that and hops along things like that. He can do all kinds of like he's ninja raccoon thing.
Yeah.
And then Bentley does all technological stuff, so he has loads of gadgets. He has like bombs that do different things, like sleep bombs. He shoots sleep darts.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like that. So he's slightly less stealthy, but you can still be stealthy.
Yeah.
And then Murray's ones are all based on destruction, and he does the most damage, and you just beat the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
In Sonic, why not make it so that Tails has got loads of gadgets?
Yeah.
And when you get upgrades, it's more gadgets.
Yeah.
Knuckles can do different fight moves. Sonic does different speed-based moves rather than just having them all have this really basic set of things that they can do. It's also getting boring playing as Sonic and just jumping and then whizzing out a thing.
Yeah, it does.
And that's it.
It's really repetitive.
He needs
Sonic
different
does.
moves,
Like,
but they need to be quick moves. You should be able to do combos. Or this is another thing I think they need to start doing.
There's a Sonic game that has covered a bit of that. But I think it was more because you get to shoot and stuff, so it doesn't really...
Are you thinking of Shadow the Hedgehog? He's the only one who had a gun.
Maybe so, maybe.
Might be his one. He had a gun. No, he's basically Sonic with a gun. That's all Shadow's game was. And they have also done something that I kind of like the idea of, I just don't think they've implemented it well. I think it's in Sonic and the Secret Rings, it might be in a different one. But the idea that when you're going really fast in a game, it's hard to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, the basic format of Sonic is kind of not great. Like, going fast is fun, but you can't really control anything. So in Sonic and the Secret Rings, they made it so when you go so fast, everything else gets slower.
Yeah.
So that you can see what you're doing a bit better, and you can control it more. And I like that idea.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said, like... Because you get an idea of what is happening to you, but you can still go around and do things.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have said that they don't like it because you're not going fast then. And that's the point of Sonic. You're supposed to be going fast.
Yeah, but then if you're playing a game to get the experience of the character, he's not going to be seeing it as, I'm going fast.
Exactly. If you're playing as him, he would see everything else as being slower than him.
So...
He wouldn't necessarily think he's super fast.
Yeah. So
it does make sense, but I still think even if you're keeping it going fast, you just I don't like quick time events, but if you could do combos like a hack and slash game, where when you got to a group of enemies, instead of pressing jump and then attack and it's the same button, if it was just like you do a couple of different buttons and then it attacks them in a slightly different way. If he was more like a hack and slash style setup for Sonic, I think it would be a better game.
Yeah, they could do
because I think he doesn't do enough
when he's got like group of them enemies and stuff like that. Yeah,
he literally just runs and jumps.
Yeah, and spins on the ground and then
whizzes on the floor and then spins at things.
It is fun there, but it does get repetitive. That's the only thing.
It's repetitive,
fun, but it gets
and
really
when they try and do things that are further away from that, they've gone so far away from it now that people are like, we want them to make another old school style side-scrolling one, which is why they're making Sonic Mania, which is that.
Yeah.
It's basically like Sonic 3, which is good. I'm into that.
Cool.
Like, I want to play it, but it feels like even if you go back to that, it's not going to be perfect still. Because it's just still really basic things.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just grasping at some nostalgia, to be fair.
Yeah, I think even if you play the original Sonic games again, it is still just like you just run and try to avoid things.
It just gets really
but you can't really do as much. So I'm not against the idea of him being able to sort of slow everything around him down when he goes fast.
A new flavour to it, really.
And then his ability being that he can still do combos, but he can slow down time because he's fast. I think I prefer that, personally. So I just think they need to give all the characters a slightly different way of doing things rather than having them just
exploiting what the characters are a bit more, really, isn't it? Just actually being like, this character can do this. Yeah. We're going to give you a chance to explore them doing that. So, especially when it's characters that, like, I get if it's a game where characters are from the game. I mean, like, so you can't really complain. It's like you don't know what these characters can do. Yeah. Like, where it's a comic and it's been, like we know what Knuckles can do. Yeah. Like, we've seen cartoons of it. We've read comics of it. Like, we know what they can do. Yeah. And if you play a game and you're like, oh, I wish I could do I wish I could, because I've seen them do all of this cool stuff. I get to the game and the only thing I can use is Sonic going fast, which we forever see. Yeah. And it's all I can do. But Tails can fly. Let me fly around for a bit more.
And you don't always get to fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or if you do, it's just a glide. A little bit.
Yeah.
Knuckles can just punch things. He doesn't tend to do the gliding thing anymore like he used to, because he used to literally just fly across the screen.
Do you know what? I've just even like combo moves, like like Tails picking up Knuckles and then you're flying around.
Yeah, between them.
Is like like even that, like even just being able to.
Yeah, so that's what they did in Sonic Heroes, wasn't it? You had the ability to have everyone turn into a ball and you could fire each other out at people. They've sort of done some. This is the thing. It feels like Sonic is forever doing things that are really close to something good, but not doing it.
Nah, that's a bit weird.
It's always like they've had that idea but didn't do it.
Yeah.
They just did something slightly more simple.
Yeah, that's like.
And it just really takes away from it,
because that's not special. It's just, you've literally just said they all merge together and become Sonic.
No, not really. But essentially, they all become balls, and it just you can do it with all of them. Yeah,
it's like they all band together and become spinning balls. Yeah, which is what Sonic's attack is. Yeah, but imagine if it's like say it's Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic spins really fast, he's spinning Knuckles around, and Knuckles just punching people, something like that. Yeah. I mean, like, it's just, there's more creative ways to do that than we're all going to turn them into spinning.
Yeah, they just end up giving them all the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't, again,
and again,
it doesn't
like
show what they can
in
do.
Sonic Boom, when they're not doing that, they've just sort of made everyone kind of basic anyway. Yeah. So Knuckles is literally just, he's a guy who can punch.
You're making me just be like, fuck Sonic right now. I'm joking. It's a great game. It's a great game.
I like Sonic.
This is the problem. There hasn't been a Sonic game I don't like.
I really like Sonic as a concept. Yeah. And as characters. Yeah. But the games are just always slightly wrong and not good enough. They're always like... But it's not an expectation thing, though, because even if I look back at the original Sonic, like I say, going back to the original Sonic, is kind of like a really good idea that is just slightly wrong. It just doesn't work because of the speed thing. So if you want to make him be fast and go on tracks, then it should play more like a driving game. It should play like a race.
But then the whole point is there's no one really as fast as him.
But he doesn't need to literally race things. I just mean he needs to be on tracks, which they've done in like Sonic Heroes and stuff like that. But it needs to be just him and not everyone. Because I think it takes it away when you do too many of them doing the same thing.
No, that's definitely not it's not helpful. Especially when they're different characters.
I'd like to see them do one where it was more like assault courses for him. Yeah. So that he was based on running fast, but he has to do different things within the environment to dodge around things so that he can continue going fast. which is kind of like what you do in the original game, going sideways, and you've got to dodge enemies and not just go into walls.
Yeah.
And I get that people prefer it side-scrolling. I don't really care if it's going forward. They've kind of done... This is kind of what Sonic and the Secret Rings is kind of like that. It's kind of like just an assault course, just going forward, where it's literally like one of those games where it's like 3 lanes and you literally just dodge. It could be like...
You're going up and down the...
there are so many games that are similar to it. It just feels like it's so close to being a good thing that it's just not quite there.
It's not quite hitting the mark. Fair enough.
I want to see better things from Sonic in general. But yeah, I think like more games should make it so that you can play as more than one character.
Yeah.
Just in general anyway. I like having teamwork games. I like games where it feels like you're playing as a team because there's more than one character and it doesn't need to be all online and things like that.
Batman.
Yeah. So I like Arkham Asylum. This is a good example, actually.
Yeah.
I like the Arkham series.
Yeah.
And you can play as all of them.
Yeah.
But only within the missions.
Yeah.
You could play as Catwoman and walk around a bit. But when it came to the third one, I really wanted to be able to be all of them and have them all just... I wanted to play in them within the sandbox.
Yeah.
That's part of what's fun. This is the perfect game to have done it with.
Yeah.
If you could have gone out as Batman, grappled around, and then you come back and you switch to Nightwing... And then you go out and he's got all the Nightwing moves instead. So he can't glide, but he can do slightly different things. I can't think of what he did.
I was going to leave you to that.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
I like the idea of them having slightly different move sets and you just getting out to play as different characters. I do also like... They said that they weren't going to make another Batman game.
They weren't?
Yeah, Rocksteady said that. And people
Batman
speculated that he was going to make... This is my point.
Yeah.
They speculated that they might do a Superman game, but I don't think there's ever going to be a good Superman game. So I think he's just a character that you can't do. He's got too many powers. I can't think of a way where it would be fun. Imagine playing a Superman and he can't fly.
No, but imagine playing a Superman in a game where Superman's gone to a different planet where there's actual...
things that are bigger than him. If it was huge creatures and stuff like that, and it was Shadow of the Colossus with Superman, that might be quite interesting. But yeah, so like you said, they could make a Batman and Robin game.
Yeah,
they've put in so many characters now. They've had Robin, Catwoman, Nightwing, Azrael that you could play as. Yeah. I was hoping that they'd say we're going to do Batman Incorporated instead. And we're going to do one where you have a team of these 5 very much Bat-like people, and you can play as all of them. So you would have Batman, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, like the main Azrael, like all these people that are kind of like it. They essentially play similarly to Batman anyway, but they'd all have slightly different things that they could do. So that would be a thing that would work well in this style, where you just go back to one of the points that belong to them. So you either go back to the manor or Wayne Industries.
You could do like where
or the clock tower, whatever that's called.
Where you just switch kind of between.
That would be quite hard.
Yeah, I mean,
to do for that kind of game. But yeah,
I think
that
would
work.
You could work it because like.
No, I just mean that the very concept that they put into Grand Theft Auto of just switching to someone randomly in a different place and having very short loading times is incredibly impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, it would just be hard in general for a company to implement that concept.
Yeah, no, that's
not. It would be hard to work in. It's just I'm still slightly baffled by it when I play it. It's really well done.
So good.
That Grand Theft Auto is another game that does it really well. Grand Theft Auto 5 does having a team really well. It feels like a team though, doesn't it? So you've not played Sly Cooper, so that's the best example I can talk to you about with it. Grand Theft Auto 5, I hadn't even thought of that. You feel like a team more when you can play as all of the team.
Yeah.
When you're in a team and you're only ever one of them, you only think of it as being it's me and this is my team. Whereas in Grand Theft Auto 5, you play as one of them, then you might bump into the other one, or you could call them up and they could come with you. You could do a mission where you go and meet them. I love in that game that you can do a mission, and depending on which character you are, you can show up within that mission at different times.
Yeah.
So there can be a cutscene that is Trevor and Michael arguing, but you're playing as Franklin. So when you show up as Franklin, you've missed part of the argument.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh.
You feel like part of the team because you're playing as the different aspects of it and how they join together.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that more games need to do. If you want a game with a team in it,
You got to commit to
be
that
the
whole
team.
Yeah.
Don't be one person, be the whole team.
Yeah, play as the whole collective.
And it's so much more fun. They don't even have like different movesets or anything.
Well,
It's just
they've got different
they
things
have
they
different
could do.
guns, and it remembers they had one special ability each, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And they have their different cars and different weapons, but they're not like completely different abilities.
No, it's not like
It is
one
just
could fly or
gun.
whatever.
That is the main ability of Grand Theft
It
Auto.
was just like that one special thing
Yeah.
they could do, and then
I'd like to see that implemented in more games. Things like Mass Effect, where you've got a team of aliens. Just make it so that you take out less of them. You take out a team of 3, but you can play as all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Or just
I'm
make
gonna
it so
stop
you're not
playing
only
that,
playing
actually,
as...
Mass Effect.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, that's a game that I'd never really played and got into recently.
Okay,
and love it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Like,
Gonna get into it.
it's one of those things where I'm like, why wasn't I playing this?
Really?
Like, I was playing another game and I was like, it looked really good, and I was like, I love sci-fi games.
Yeah.
I like that this is like a proper sci-fi world and it's in space and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you can go and see all of these alien races and stuff like that. And it could have like this cool story. And then afterwards I played it and I didn't like it. And I was just like, why didn't I ever play Mass Effect? Because that is exactly what Mass Effect is. It's basically Fallout in space.
Cool.
And I love that.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So why aren't I playing that? And then I started playing 2 and it's really good.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend playing Mass Effect.
Got it on my Xbox, and I've had it for ages, and I've just been like, why haven't I played it? I'm currently still trying to work my way through Naruto. It's killing me right now, but once that's done,
that's another game that I think would work better like that. You could do it with Naruto as well. There are so many franchises with huge
Naruto
teams
works
where
so
if you
well
had
with
single
it.
player where you could play as a couple of them and you can just switch between them to make it as a team, and then you bump into the other ones on missions. Like there's a mission where it needs 2 of you and you can go there as one of them and the other person's there as well.
Yeah, I feel like the setup for Naruto has been, they missed out so much in that game, so much. Like I enjoy it, but they've missed out so much.
Yeah.
And like even for that aspect as well, because like obviously the whole setup is, you know, once you kind of go for the cutscenes and you go for the little, you know, the little bit of exploring that you do, you're just fighting, you know. And it's not like it's just a fighting game, you know. Like they tried to make it a bit more exciting, but it's just. And you just miss out on actually...
a little bit of like running around and stuff.
And
like,
that's it.
There's a little collectathon in the middle.
And that's about it really, isn't it?
We desperately need to move on to a different topic because
come on.
I didn't realise how much we'd overrun on the first one because I didn't have the tab open for it. So let's take a short break and then when we come back I'll spin again.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful waste of time.
Right, and we're back. So now let's spin the wheel again and speed us up because I spent too long talking about why everything should be Sly Cooper. Stop. You.
Oh.
And your topic is... music. Surely the best topic for you.
I mean, I feel like I'm in quite a bit on this one. I mean, like, is it music / poetry, or is it just music?
No, it's music / poetry. The
Okay.
category is music / poetry. So if you want to talk about poetry, you may.
Yes.
I'll allow it.
No. I mean, like, it does work a little bit for music and poetry. I would like to focus on why it's not a negative thing for lyrics to be self-centered in a sense.
Yeah.
To be, because I think like a lot of lyricism gets kind of looked over or gets a negative kind of it instantly gets received as a negative thing when it's perceived as a self-centered piece of work.
In what way?
Even
You
in
mean
some sort of
self-centered or more just self-gratifying?
I think, even self-gratifying. I think more like just not self-centered in a it's all about me sense, but self-centered as in the base of the lyricism or the base concept is based around oneself.
Yeah,
you know, just in that sense where we're talking from my perspective and I'm giving you my story.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know that gets really, for some reason, it doesn't.
Yeah,
get
some
enough
people
as a-
don't like that.
especially in poetry, I think there's quite a bit of stigma with regards to
Really,
you know, there's no outside kind of look to that. There's no, you're not giving people anything more than just your own view and your own self as a, and which is what an artist is meant to
more-
do anyways. But I think I'm not getting the point across maybe as well as I could, but I think it's very much that style of poetry.
More in a sense of of opinions and stuff like that, more than necessarily like a personal story, because a lot of poetry is like a personal story and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
and I've never seen that. Well, obviously, I don't see
story,
as much
but,
poetry stuff as you do.
Yeah, but
from stuff that I've seen, nobody seems to have a problem with it. If you're like telling like a brutally honest story about yourself, that's fine. But if you're sort of saying like, this is my idea of something, but you're presenting it as your idea rather than an idea, that seems to be when people seem to be a bit weird about it sometimes. Purely from what I've seen.
I don't see how you could present something and not have your own ownership on it.
I agree with you in the sense of, I think everything that you do should be from your perspective, because it is your perspective.
Yeah,
but I think in terms of how I've seen people receive things, some people feel like it's not as accessible if you're expressing it as your idea of it, rather than just an idea of it, that you could take part of it.
Maybe that's maybe a little bit more for music. That's definitely what I mean. Definitely for music, that's actually what I mean. Because there's been times where, especially for lyrics, that you've got open up lyrics so other people can join into it, and so in that sense of definitely for music. But in poetry, I think there is still there's this I wouldn't say a mission, but there's definitely this kind of gravitation within creating more of a fictional, imaginative world than sticking to one's reality.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely a big push towards kind of creating something outside of what I mean. Like there's definitely this kind of more of a sway to the abstract in that sense. But for me, a lot of my favorite pieces have been very much just someone's quite literal opinion of themselves or story of themselves or something from their opinion.
Yeah.
Right. One of them's not the best example, just for the fact that he does open it up quite widely, which is Anis Mujani and it's Shake the Dust. But it's very much, saying this is for all of you people, just shake the dust. So it's not the best example, because he's saying this is for all and he lists all of these people. But it's actually, that's a terrible example, actually. When I think about it now, it's a terrible example. I think I want to talk about that later time. So let's focus on Polar Bear Jessica.
Yeah.
Which is a poem about someone's falling in love.
It's entirely just his life experience.
It's literally his life experience about falling in love and and just the process of his youth, meeting his wife, from when they were young to then when they get married to when he has a son. Which, that you don't get much more
and it is written from his perspective about a specific person.
Literally. Yeah. Literally written this is my life.
Yeah.
And this is about this.
Yeah.
And this is what happened through this. It's so beautifully done, dude.
It is really good.
It's so beautifully done. It's rhythmically, lyrically, and for what it is, it's just a story about a kid who went out to play football, was in a park with a couple girls, kissed one of them, who he always had a crush with in school.
Yeah.
Then they got married and had a kid.
Yeah.
That is it. Like that. I mean, look how dull I've just told that story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he turned
that is the thing that he's very good at, though. He does take
very
normal sort of what I would describe if I was writing it as a script as sort of like humdrum things.
Yeah.
But making them this beautiful version of that.
Yeah. But he he does that a lot. I think it's just a great reflection of him as a person, because he's essentially just a normal guy.
Yeah.
He and I follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter. I love Polar Bear. It's one of the reasons I've ever done spoken word. And but I think sometimes his poetry is in that kind of category of, I'm just giving you my life and my opinions. And, it's there. I don't think there's this massive push of being, really abstract about things or, creating it's very, and there needs to be more appreciation for that style of poetry. Like, I think that's what it is. I don't think there's enough appreciation for that style of
for
poetry.
the sort of like the documentary equivalent of storytelling rather than like
the fictional,
making it a fictional story.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, myself included, often when they write things, even if it is directly about themselves or their own experiences, turn it into a fictionalized scenario rather than just saying it
facing what it is and then kind of
face
creating,
value.
and then
That's one of the things that I really like about him. Polar Bear is one of the few poets that I actually interested enough to follow personally. Like I said before about him taking humdrum and making it sort of beautiful, he does just take a thing that could easily be a very surface face value thing and he turns it into something quite elaborate and more meaningful than you possibly would have. Like, I feel like if you grew up with Polar Bear, if you were like his best friend and you watched his life, you could see all this stuff and you could boil it down so easily. But the way that he explains his own life, he puts so much more depth into it because it is his experience of it.
Yeah.
That's what he manages to articulate that a lot of people can't. And maybe that's part of why a lot of people don't appreciate it. Because it is quite a hard skill to just explain really something but make it that level of depth to it.
Yeah,
because it all sounds like just genuine, like... When he's obviously going to have written it so many years later.
Yeah, of course.
But it feels like he's writing it from at the time. It's like he really remembers. It's like he's got really good emotional memory. It's like you can. It's like he can still feel exactly the same way.
He's really good at kind of
and he expresses it very well.
Oh, it's beautiful. And and I think from kind of looking at what creates, there's no definition of what creates good art or whatever, but there's definitely a greater skill in making the mundane not mundane, making the everyday something special.
I think it's just two different ways of creating things.
No, it is, but I think that side of things gets very much, because it kind of gets very, and to be fair, myself, I'm a big fan of visual poetry, of imagery and that sense, but at the same time I very much appreciate someone, because I think there's a certain art of making normal life beautiful, and that's why
I do think that's very much an underappreciated skill.
Like, rather than the escapism that most art affords us, which is a beautiful thing, there is also this kind of, there's this something we're missing, which is kind of being able to appreciate what we do have. What is around us, and kind of picking at the normal. And that's why certain songs like "What a Wonderful World" does work, because it's very like, look at this world we're in. It's like, it is beautiful, but so. That's actually, I think I'm going to leave that as the...
I'll just say, to go along with just the things that you say quickly, just before you move on to something else. That is what I was saying about it just being two different styles of how you create something. Like, I think creating something entirely from the ground up, from scratch, with a deep lore, is one very big skill. But to take something normal, like you're saying, to take something normal and make it not be normal... That is another kind of skill. And I don't think there are odds with each other, but I think they often are treated as they are.
I
think they're treated as opposites, but I don't think I
don't think there should be. I think that's what it is. Because within that kind of them being at odds, I think all the time the more, because I think people view building something from the ground up as a more creative thing, because you're not from that view, you're not using a ready-made stimulus in that sense. But I don't think there should be that. I think it's very much, like you said, it's two sides of a coin, and they both kind of...
I think when something's non-fiction, you think of it as being too factual and statistical, and this is just like a study of a thing. But normal things can be beautiful as well.
But even on that kind of
interpretation is the way that you create that stuff.
Yeah, but even looking at the stats, kind of that statistical kind of I say poetry, but there's one poem in the one specific poem that's kind of popping to my head here, which is Anthony Anixaru. I'm pretty sure it was him, and it's I am not a poet, and this is not a poem, and he's just like. and that's the basis of the poem. Is him saying, "I'm not a poet. I'm not a poet. And this is not a poem until I can find a poetic way of saying all of these things, and then we'll give you some facts." You know, and that's
that's pretty much an explanation of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but it's straight facts, and you know, he's giving it to you in a sense where he has studied this, and he's giving, you know, he could have easily read that off, but he's made that so beautiful and so like impactful, just from the words "I am not a poet" and "this is not a poem," because I can't give you this beautiful kind of a vision or whatever. Yeah. Because these are the facts. This is the world we live in, and there is again he's another great poet, who does quite, you know, just quite factual pieces of poetry that they don't kind of shy away from the reality we live in, but they still give you a very beautiful view of it. So that's for poetry. I think that's I want to touch on that one. Musically as well, though. Now, in the rap world, you know, because what else could I really focus on?
In the generalised rap world.
Yeah, well, you know, just let's just look at the hip hop side.
It's always fun. I don't know if we've said this before, but I always like the concept of rap being a kind of music when it is like saying there's rap music and there's sing music. Because really, rapping is just a thing that you can do that doesn't make it a certain genre.
If you look at like rap and hip hop, there is a genre.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just mean like, but you wouldn't go, jazz music with singing in it, and opera are exactly the same thing because they're singing.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah.
I don't think you can really go. You
rap
can't
world,
say like.
Let's say hip hop.
Fucking Iggy Azalea, who is a pop rapper.
Yeah.
And Tupac are entirely the same because they're both rapping.
Yeah.
They couldn't be further away from each other.
That's a really good point, actually. I feel bad that I didn't actually.
Maybe this is the thing to go into another time.
It's a really good point. I feel like should have. I'm gonna put a pin on that one.
We'll come back to this in another podcast.
But no, we're just within hip hop. So again, though, with that kind of the person looking at one's life and presenting in a certain way, I feel like that does get props, but not in the right ways sometimes. Yeah. Not in the only person who I feel like has got props for it and maybe because he's done it in an extreme way is maybe Eminem. Yeah, like, you know, very much taking normal life and bringing it out in but he gave people extremes, which is why they still very much eat into it. But I feel like in hip hop, the only person who is really, apart from Kendrick Lamar recently, who's given us a very plain look at life from, you know, a certain area, and it's just been that. And he's turned into something beautiful, but really he's giving you the same story that everyone has given you. But obviously he's putting his heart and art into it. But the only other person that I feel has done it beautifully as well is my main guy, my go-to, my number one Don Dada, Mr. Kanye, because Graduation is that. Like that first three. He's giving you normal situations. He's like, even what's it called?
In a lot of it, I don't think in all of it.
No, I mean,
there are quite a few songs I can think of that are.
But it's like
particularly things like Roses, where that is literally just a story about stuff that's happening to him, but telling it in a very artistic way. Yeah,
but I think the whole album, like, so even Jesus Walks, right? Right. Jesus Walks. So he's got a bar in it. It's like where it's like Jesus' peace was so harmless, but found out something about a shorty's harmless, something like that. You know, I greatly paraphrased that, but it's something about like I thought my Jesus' peace was so harmless. Then I saw a picture of a shorty harmless.
That's from Diamonds.
Diamonds are
That's
forever.
From Diamonds, not from Jesus.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, sorry, Diamonds. Yeah.
Let me find it for you. Carry on, I'll find it for you.
No, I think it was Diamonds I was talking about.
No, it is definitely from Diamonds. I'll find the lyric for you.
Yeah. It's Diamonds I'm talking about. What?
Oh, here it is. I thought my Jesus piece was so harmless till I seen a picture of a shorty armless.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Jesus walks, you know. But even Jesus walks though, because he has this bar about talking about, you can talk about something, but if I talk about Jesus, my record won't get played.
Yeah,
it's just very normal day things, you know. It's just
You can talk about. He's kind of talking about specific people.
Yeah,
He says you can talk about murder and
guns of violence,
stuff, guns and violence.
but
if you talk about God, my record won't get played.
Yeah.
Because that's what people expect from rap music is that kind of violence and stuff like that. That's what people.
I wish people could see me
have
pointing
grown
at you
to be
with
used
great,
to
like
with
this
it.
is what I mean. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because people have expected so like, and again, I go back to my other main guy, Biggie, who created this kind of hype persona to be a norm.
Much as you've said quite a few times.
No,
is
definitely.
Both a great artist, but also a detrimental figure, really.
Definitely.
Because it sort of was the genesis of a lot of like self-indulgent,
bragging hip hop,
bragging,
and I think that's one of the reasons that style of lyricism gets overlooked is because it has been rinsed, but there are so many people that are doing it so well, and it's such an important style to focus on sometimes, because you can't always escape, you know, like music is escapism, but music is also, someone gave me a really good quote at one point, which paraphrasing is, you know, artists are the voice of society. You know, like we give people the realities that are going on. We are usually the politicians and the you know, the presenters, the news presenters, more so than the people on the news and the politicians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's where you go and pick up influence, is in the things that you like.
Yeah, it's just the arts,
not in the people whose specific job it is to tell you something, because it's kind of the wrong way of picking it up, isn't it? If you're being told to think a certain way, you're never going to think that way.
You're going to rebel.
Yeah. If someone in a song or in a film or in a book can explain to you why you should think that way, you're going to take it far more on board.
Yeah. Definitely. And that's why that style of hip hop where we're like, this has happened in my life, I've learned, and it doesn't have to be as mundane as I've just said it, you know, because so many people have done it in like, even like, I don't know if that story, that Immortal Technique done, that Dance with the Devil, I don't know if that was a real story, but but that as a real story, it's such a strong, poignant story, and it's just like, it's really, really well done, and stuff like that doesn't get done enough. Like we're not giving life stories because we're being told to be more creative, you know, and people are not taking creative as a literal, you know, as a reflection of real life. Like people are taking that as, let's delve into this other world. Let's really take it out there, and like there's a certain craft of really focusing on what's here.
And there are people that do try and do it so that it's still telling it how it is, but maybe putting a slant on it that makes it so that it's not really like off the top of my head. The thing I was thinking about from what you just said was, is it called Bedtime Story or Children's Story, the Slick Rick song?
Oh yeah.
So that is essentially about people
He's telling a story
stealing
about
and stuff like that, and then getting in a gunfight with the police and stuff like that. And if he just said that, I don't think it would have been as popular a song. But because there's the whole background thing of it being like, it's a bedtime story, he's telling a kid, that slant on it makes it more further from being real enough that you feel awkward listening to it.
So, definitely. And I do like that song. But here, I'll give you one song. Biggie, Me and My Bitch, right? And like, strong title, yeah? But that song, sick. It is, and it's a straight story of, I met this girl, right? We basically fell in love. She's down. She's my ride or die. Then one day she ain't picking up. I go to the flat. It's police. She's been shot. They killed my girl for revenge. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't a real story, but that's very much like, I mean, but that's
just straight up saying it.
Straight up saying it. So like, I feel like you don't, sometimes you don't have to mask it in a, here's a little story, kids.
Yeah.
No, I will give it to you.
So there are other people that do it. It's just
no, definitely
it always comes
definitely.
across a different way, and obviously you can go completely opposite way. That's obviously quite a dark and deep sounding version of it.
Yeah.
If you were to go the complete opposite direction to kind of what is largely a funny song, but Bismarcky, you got what I need. Just a friend. The lyrics to that are literally about him meeting a girl, liking her, and then her routinely saying like she's not with anyone else, and maybe they could meet up at some point. And she's essentially leading him on for the whole song, and it's about him trying to go and meet her and stuff like that, and then finding out that she's actually sleeping with someone else and stuff like that. So it's like really far away from obviously the thing he's talking about. But that is just him talking about his life.
True. And you do get. I don't know, but the thing is, you say that song, and I was about to say, you do get it a lot, but I don't think you do get it as much in rap.
Nowhere near as much as you will get the version of it being an over-dramatic version.
Yeah, or just
that is more a thing.
Things,
so I think you don't even necessarily get as many fictionalized weird stories to what would be my idea, or you get mostly things that are like segmented bits. A lot of rap music in general, not just hip hop, but pop rap as well, is like an idea. It's like these four lines are about this thing, these four lines are about something entirely different that may not have.
Sometimes it's bars, it's just bars, isn't it?
Different bits all thrown together.
Yeah.
You get a lot of songs that are, like you say, just bragging. It's just like, look at all the things that I own.
Yeah.
Or look at how wonderful I am.
Yeah.
Or you get more stories that are the dramatic version of it, and even in with people I like, and they may be true stories, but they're always told in a way that are from their perspective and make them sound positive. It's like bragging about a real story. It's like someone gossiping and then hyping up one side of it. So even with like with Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that, where they'll say something about them having an argument with someone or being in a fight with someone, because it's from their side, their perspective. They're like the biggest, strongest people. The other side's weak and stupid. So it is mostly that. I even like the complete opposite of what you're saying. Not telling something real, telling something surrealist, far out there story. You don't get that much of that, really.
Yeah, apart from
Eminem
when you do
Stan,
like Stan
is that based on a real thing, or is that just a story? I think that's based on like a conglomerate of fans. I think it's the idea of loads of people thrown together. People like AWWOT Rock, who I think does both what you're saying and the complete opposite of it very well. I think there's not actually that much of that.
No, definitely, I think
because he does like very surreal stories.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's that many people that do that. There definitely are plenty of other people that do that, but I don't think there's that many. I also think
in the mainstream like that,
So he, like I said, I want to talk about him another time because I want to talk about it's very much what you're talking about. I want to talk about specifically AWWOT Rock doing that thing and telling very real stories.
Cool. Yeah.
So I'm going to save that for another time. But he has done it in quite a few songs. My favourite being Ruby 82, I think it's called.
We'll get to it. I'll take a listen before.
Also, Atmosphere songs like Sunshine, which is literally about it being the summer and him always wanting it to be the summer. It's about him having a hangover, throwing up in the toilet, and then going to a barbecue. That is the story of that song.
That's real. And
that's
you know
just normal life.
One person that
I think that's
I'd
very
recommend.
interesting.
One person I'd recommend. He does do it quite a bit from what I've listened to recently. Is that it's Locksmith. He doesn't get a lot of recognition actually, and I've been a bit late on Locksmith. It's always floated around.
I've never heard of Locksmith.
Exactly, it's a name that's floated around, but then like I've just locked into kind of listening to a piece of body.
You didn't mean to do that.
No. But yeah, I've just kind of got into listening to a body of work of his, and like his latest album. I can't remember the name, so there we go. It's this 2017 album, so there you go, people. Locksmith, but it's very like I haven't listened to an album and then being like, this is just real stuff and I relate.
Yeah.
Like
it's not very often you get a whole album of that.
Yeah, and he very much gives me that. He very much gives me a very plain view of life, and it's raw and it's real. And I feel like more people should be able to do that within hip hop and poetry.
Just in general.
In general,
it needs to be more acceptable, the concept of just straight up telling a narrative.
Yeah.
that is just truthful. It's just
That
like,
is just life, you know.
Yeah.
Like even actually, in everything, even in film, sometimes I feel like it just gets missed sometimes. And when you do get it, when you do get a really good film, like it's just about life. It's beautiful, you know. So yeah, there we go.
okay, that's a good place to wrap up. I feel like you've used your shout out, but you might as well use it again.
Yeah, that was that shout out was
Locksmith.
definitely go for Locksmith. I'll shout myself out as well. Everyone, click on my SoundCloud at Mr. Souls. Got a new song out from upcoming EP, which is Pure Alibis and Even Worse Predicaments. Yes, I like long words that sometimes I will
Long,
mispronounce.
complicated sentences.
Yes, which makes sense though.
Called Indie.
The song is called Indie. It's actually a really good song. Like I say, actually, like I'm
Don't beat
surprised, but
yourself
no,
up,
it's a good song though. Like
I'm very talented, guys.
I didn't say I'm very talented. I am, but no, but yeah, definitely. Have a listen. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, give it a share, and just look out for the other songs coming very soon. And yeah, there we go.
I'm going to use my shout out someone you talked about who obviously should get. Well, I think we may have even shouted him out before, but fuck it. Polar Bear, just in general.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But Polar Bear is like one of those people that I think is very accessible to everyone because of the things that you're talking about. Because he does just talk about his life, and it feels like a friend telling you about things. I think he does it in a way that is just like him just telling you about himself.
Yeah,
he's very unpretentious in the way that he. Talks about
exactly.
himself.
I think like very much releases his guards in that sense. And so I'll just want to say Jessica, like
Jessica in particular is
definitely,
very good.
Yeah.
And whatever the video is, I don't know if it is Jessica. There's a video on his YouTube that is just in his house. I don't think it's Jessica.
I think he's got
it's
2
about
or
cups
3
of tea or something like that. I like that
great
one.
Stuff, great stuff.
But I was also going to shout out, people may well know of the band The King Blues, but Itch from The King Blues, he does poetry as well.
Cool.
And he does a lot of it separately. There's a poem called 5 Bottles of Shampoo that's really good. But yeah, if you're going to go check out Polar Bear, check out Itch's solo stuff as well. 5 Bottles of Shampoo in particular is good. And shouting out myself as well. Go on YouTube and search Renegade Pineapple, or find the link on our YouTube page because it should be down one side of it, to watch me play video games with someone else, not SG, but yeah, just talking bullshit over video games. We've got some new things coming up soon. Ratchet and Clank, we're starting soon.
And that's not the kind of ratchet you get on the road. Sorry, I don't know.
Thanks, that was great.
No.
And shout out to Studio 3 where we record, who is an art centre.
Yes,
that community art centre. That person is
that person that lets everyone inside to do
art and stuff. They've got a dance studio inside them and stuff like that. Yeah, so if you're around the general Barking area or near enough to get to here, check it out because they do a lot of like interesting things. There's a lot of like events and stuff like that are cool.
Yes, there's
and of
festivals.
course the thing you should do most of all
is
subscribe to us, follow us, like us, do all that shit. Go on iTunes and subscribe. Then write a review telling us how amazing we are. We're wonderful. We're a wonderful waste of time.
Hey!
So go and do that. High five. So yeah, look into us a bit more and follow us along and listen to the rest of our podcasts, please. Is there anything else? You need a question. What's your question for the day? We're bringing it back because you forgot for about 3 episodes.
The question was actually going to be, what do you do at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Oh, because of why?
Yeah. What do you
at
do
3
at 3
a.m. in the morning, I'm usually playing video games, writing while watching YouTube or Arrested Development, typically. Something on Netflix, probably Arrested Development. That's what I'm doing at 3 in the morning. Or now I've got into a better sleeping routine, I'm reading the book Fables.
Ooh.
It's very good. It's a comic book. It's very good. Do that. What do you do at 3 in the morning? Nothing. Do you not make it to 3 in the morning?
No, I'm usually sleeping. Either in the studio. If I'm actually in my house, I am either watching The Walking Dead recently, or even more recently, Rick and Morty.
Good shit.
Or playing Naruto.
Or playing Naruto.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there we go.
Let us know in the comments on whatever you're on. Because they've all got comment systems, except for iTunes. If you're on iTunes, go to our Facebook and leave us a comment there or something. Who cares? Or go to SoundCloud or YouTube. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you do at 3 a.m. Why are you up at 3 a.m? Explain it to us. That's it for this episode. And we will see you next week where we'll be doing a top 5 of something or other. Goodbye. Don't say goodbye then if you don't want to.
Bye.